Hi everyone, so the new year is just around the corner and it is the perfect time to start planning our New Year's resolutions. Learning new skills should definitely be one of our goals to achieve in 2022. Today I'm going to share with you how I use Duolingo for supporting my learning of languages. I hope it helps you as well. Remember that using apps is just one of the tools to support your learning. For greater results, you need to get involved in an environment full of content that makes you familiar with the language you want to learn. As pointed out in my previous video, the most generous offer of languages from Duolingo is given to the speakers of English. For this reason, the set of tools in every language offered to speakers of English is also broader. For example, if you speak Spanish and you want to learn French, Duolingo offers a course with 4 units, whereas if you speak English and you want to learn French, the course has 9 units. Big difference, huh? The same happens with the podcast tool. It is only offered for the speakers of English in this same case, not for the speakers of Spanish. And this advantage also exists in other languages offered to English speakers, as you can see on screen. For this reason, if you're interested in learning a language different to English, I suggest you polish your English first and then you learn that new language as an English speaker, because you will have a broader set of tools to learn that new language. Remember that you can use Duolingo both on a desktop computer and on your mobile devices. To set up your account once you are in the app or on the Duolingo website, there you will have 3 options for setting up your account. First, you have the possibility to link your Gmail or your Facebook accounts and create your Duolingo profile with this link. The third option is by clicking the sign up button on the upper right part of the screen, filling in the info required and creating a password. Here are some important settings to consider once you have created your account. Go to notifications and uncheck the boxes for the information you're not interested in receiving on your email. Believe me, this will make your life easier. Go to sound effects and disable them. This is especially good when you are in public places and you want to practice a little bit without disturbing the people around you. When you cannot do the speaking or listening exercises, remember that you can also disable these options temporarily. In the settings list, you can also modify your name or log out of your account, both in your mobile device or on your desktop computer. When you first create your account, the app will ask if you have any previous knowledge of the language. I suggest you take the preliminary test so you don't start from scratch. You can also choose the amount of time you want to devote every day to learning that new language. My suggestion, if you want to see consistent results, is to choose 50 points of experience per day. Alright, so now I'm going to show you different examples of all the tools that Duolingo has to offer. For doing that, I have my phone here and I also have a camera here that will be capturing everything I do on my phone. Alright, so for starting, just go to the Duolingo app. Probably I will have more icons over here since I'm learning French as an English speaker. This is how the app looks. Here you have several icons, and the first one, home, shows you the different units. So I'm gonna take this one that is breaking. Every time you have the option of taking tips. I suggest you take the tip because in the tips it shows you some grammar rules that will be important for completing the unit. So here it says, for example, use parce que to say because. Remember that que becomes que. It's kind of an abbreviation before a vowel or a silent H.
Il est stressé parce qu'il a beaucoup de travail. Je suis fatigué parce que je dors mal.
Good, and it gives a lot of plenty of other examples, and then you can type start lesson. In this case, it's a practice because sometime in the past I already took this unit. So, and I start saying, for example, how do you say sleep in French? Why are they stressed? Okay, and it goes It goes on and on like that. By organizing these sentences in both languages, you know, your language and the target language, you are unconsciously building, you know, the structures of the language, learning the structures of the language with time. So, and as I mentioned before, my suggestion is that you choose 50 points of experience every day. That is an equivalent of 20 to 30 minutes of practice every day. You can add points by taking the lessons as I'm doing here. I'm just gonna close this one and lesson. But there are other possibilities you have here. For example, the book is about stories, short stories. So I'm gonna show you one that I haven't done. Let's see. I've done pretty much almost all of them. Okay, I'm gonna take this one. So it gives you 28 points of experience. It gives you more actually than if you take a regular lesson. And you will see that they are very interesting.
Eddie et Junior sont en train de dîner.
Junior, mange tes légumes, c'est important.
Je respecte ton opinion, mais non merci.
Mais les légumes te rendent plus fort.
Les lions ne mangent pas de légumes et ils sont forts. Je peux avoir des bonbons?
Alright, so this is just another example. You can answer comprehension questions about the story. As you can notice, there is some kind of narrator, and there are at least 2 or 3 people interacting, and you actually see what they're talking about. Well, if I continue here, at the end of the story you will have a chance to also write a summary of the story, and you will be practicing writing as well. So, and once you have finished the story, you will have the chance to do it somewhere in the future again, but this time it will be only listening, focused on listening and also speaking. So for example, I'm going to show you how it works. So I'm going to go back to one of the stories I have already done. For example, this one, on this little icon with a bubble, kind of a conversation bubble. It means you already took that lesson, but you can take it again only to practice listening and speaking.
Béa est au centre commercial. Elle voit son voisin, Eddie.
Eddie, qu'est-ce que tu fais ici?
As you can see, it's asking me to repeat or to read what I have just listened. So I'm going to do it right now. Eddie, qu'est-ce que tu fais ici?
Tu n'as pas une soirée au bureau ce soir?
Tu n'as pas une soirée au bureau ce soir?
Si, mais j'ai oublié d'acheter un cadeau pour mon nouveau chef, Laurent. Je veux vraiment qu'il m'aime bien.
As you can notice, now it's more about listening. For example, in these 2 interactions, well, I cannot see what Eddie is saying in written words, but I can only listen to what he's saying.
Mais j'ai peur de ne pas acheter le bon cadeau.
I have also the possibility to reveal what he just said and then play it again.
Si, mais j'ai oublié d'acheter un cadeau pour mon nouveau chef, Laurent.
You see, so this is an excellent practice because you get to listen, concentrate really hard and try to understand everything. And if after a few tries you still don't get any word in there, you can always reveal what he's saying, and that's all right. You see.
Je veux vraiment qu'il m'aime bien.
And
Mais j'ai peur de ne pas acheter le bon cadeau.
And as you can see, you can also organize sentences as usual. So I'm going to skip this one. Now let's go to the podcast tool. This is only offered for speakers of English who are learning French. This is what I mentioned at the beginning of this episode. You will have, if you already know English, my suggestion is that you learn the other languages, taking them as an English speaker, okay? Because you will have plenty of more tools that you can use. So I'm just gonna play And here the podcasts are divided into two different types of podcasts. The first ones are some kind of lessons. So for example, I'm just gonna go to education practice, and then these are some kind of lessons. And the second part of the podcast are true stories, and the good thing about those true stories is that they share historic things, and they use different can I stop it here while I finish explaining. The other type of podcast, as I was saying, offer true stories, history, and they offer also different accents of French from Africa, from Canada, from Paris, from the south of France. And this means you will be exposed not only to the typical Parisian accent. This also happens to the other languages that are often offered to speakers of English. Again, my suggestion is you polish your English first, and then you use Duolingo and all of these tools that are offered if you already speak English. Good, so I'm just gonna play a little bit of in here so you see what is this about.
Recently, we've been making visits to a lycée, or a French high school. We listened to some students chatting about schoolwork.
You learn phrases that will come in handy when you chat with French speakers about your own education.
And you heard a lot about the French education system. So you'll be up to speed when a French speaker mentions une fac or le bac.
Over the next few lessons, you'll review and use all the new language covered.
We'll start by talking about going to class. Let's practice what you might say on your way there.
Repeat after me. Je vais en cours.
Je vais en cours.
Je vais en cours de français.
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 Je vais en cours de maths.
Je vais en cours de maths.
Très bien.
Alright, I'm gonna stop it there. As you could notice, there was one time in which it didn't get what I said because probably I mispronounced some word. So that is also something very interesting because it uses artificial intelligence to notice if you're pronouncing well or incorrect, and it asks you to repeat. Okay, so I'm gonna close here, and I'm gonna jump to show you what other things are offered. This is one of the incentives given to you if you're using the app. There are some kind of tournaments, and you can compete with other people, and you can hear there are different incentives. As you can see on the upper right corner of my phone, I have here some diamonds. It's kind of a currency to buy different stuff. For example, I can for 1,000 diamonds I can buy a special unit about idioms and proverbs. For 1,000 I can also buy a unit for flirting in French. My recommendation is you navigate the app and well, enjoy it every day. Alright, so that was the example. Some language teachers use Duolingo Classroom to assign activities to their students. There are different ways to register on this classroom. From a computer, just click on the link provided in the PDF your teacher shared with you. If he didn't send you the PDF with the link, he probably gave you a code. Type the code provided by your teacher on the phone app. To do this, tap the profile icon, go to Settings, scroll down, choose the Duolingo Schools option, and type the code. Another way to enroll in your teacher's classroom on Duolingo is by going to duolingo.com/classroom and entering the code your teacher gave you. To do this, you previously had to log into your Duolingo account. In our next episodes, I will share the tools offered by other learning apps that I have tried myself for learning languages. If you're interested in learning about those other apps, make sure you subscribe to this channel. And if you like the information shared in this video, don't forget to like it. Until the next episode, take care and continue being awesome. Bye bye.